Hello and welcome to Bottomline. It's election time and we are going to discuss the election only. Today I'm going to discuss the dynamics of Tamil Nadu election politics. There is a state in India that plays entirely by its own rules. A state that worships its film stars on Friday and judges them with cold precision on election Tuesday. A state that has resisted every attempt by Delhi to dictate its political destiny for the 7 unbroken decades. That state is Tamil Nadu. And in 2026, it stands at the most combustible crossroads it has ever faced. 5 faces, 5 future, only one verdict. The outcome will not merely decide who governs this proud, complicated state. It will determine whether the Dravidian political civilization that had defined South Indian democracy for half a century endures, evolves, or finally fractures. It has a legacy. Why this state is different? Let's delve into it. To understand what is at stake, you must first understand what Tamil Nadu actually is. This is not merely a southern state with a strong film industry. It is a political civilization unto itself. The Dravidian movement, born from anti-caste assertion, linguistic pride, and social reform, rewrote Indian democracy long before the rest of the country caught up. Periyar planted the seed, Anandurai gave it ideology, Karunanidhi gave its organizational genius, MGR gave its emotional power and welfare governance, Jayalalitha gave it resilience and defiance. These were not merely politicians. They were architects of an identity so deeply rooted that no external force, not Congress hegemony, not emergency, not the BJP's relentless southern push has ever fully dislodged it. But the titans are gone. What remains is their inheritance, their legacy, and the urgent question of who is worthy of carrying it forward. Let us look at this one by one. Phase 1. MK Stalin, current Chief Minister. With the man at the center, MK Stalin, son of Kalinga, Chief Minister since 2021. A man who spent decades waiting in his father's shadow before finally grasping power with both hands. His welfare record is real and visible. Free bus travel for women, school breakfast schemes, monthly family assistance. They are not abstract policy promises. Tamil families feel them every morning, and Stalin has been meticulous about putting the DMK stamp on every single scheme. He has also spoken the language of economic modernity. Investment summits, manufacturing corridors, semiconductor ambitions, trying to be simultaneously the narrator of Dravidian social justice and the architect of Tamil Nadu industrial modern future. But 5 years is a long time. The shadows are real. Sand mining controversies, corruption allegations, law and order concern in specific districts, and a persistent charge from the middle class that his government has prioritized welfare optics over structural reform. That water crisis, agrarian distress, and educated youth unemployment have received more press releases than genuine solution. And then there is sword that hangs over every Tamil Nadu incumbent without exception. Anti-incumbency problem, except in the long history back. Stalin cannot escape that gravity, that reality, that truth. It's a bitter truth. His opponents are betting everything on it, that it is anti-incumbency. What is the prediction? The DMK remains the single largest party. Most of them believe. Stalin likely retains his chief ministership with a reduced majority of 15 to 25 fewer seats than 2021. A win positions him as a serious national opposition figure. A loss triggers a succession conversation within the DMK that everyone is privately rehearsing, but nobody yet dares speak aloud. And who's the face number 2? Edappadi K Palaniswami, EPS he is known as. Do not underestimate EPS. Political observers have made that mistake before and paid for it. This is a man who survived the chaotic aftermath of Jayalalitha's death, outmaneuvered a rival within longer political resume, and built the AIADMK from the wreckage of 2021's 6-seat disaster with quite grinding tenacity. EPS is not a man of great oratory or cinematic presence. What he has instead is a machine, politicians' mastery of electoral. What he has is a mastery of electoral mechanics. Caste arithmetic understood Caste arithmetic understood with scientific accuracy, booth level organization maintained with the attention of a man who knows elections are won not at the rallies but in the last 48 hours on the doorsteps of the voters. His decision to re-enter alliance with the BJP was not comfortable, but his calculation is not unreasonable. That the AIADMK alone cannot defeat the DMK's welfare advantage, and that the BJP's organization resources add something the DMK cannot independently generate. But EPS carries real wounds. The OPS split divided loyalists in the ways that have not fully healed. And the haunting central question remains: can the AIADMK win without a leader whose personality crosses from politics into mythology? What is the prediction then? The AIADMK BJP alliance wins between 90 and 115 seats combined, a meaningful recovery from 2021. EPS secures his own seat comfortably, but even a credible performance leaves him facing growing pressure from within his own party and from a BJP that will never be content as a permanent junior partner. He may win the battle of 2026 if people believe it, and still lose a longer war for the DMK's soul. These are all speculation, not reality. We are looking at the possibilities. What are the ways politics is likely to happen? This was the second possibility. Now let's come to the phase 3. Who's the phase 3 of this? Vijay, the storm and the morning after. Then there is Telepathy Vijay. No force is more electric or difficult to calibrate. His entry was not Rajnikant's year-long ambiguous flirtation before retreating to safety. You know, Rajnikant came and disappeared. But Vijay committed. He launched Tamilaga Vettri Kazhagam with purposes positioning it outside the traditional Dravidian binary, rooted in economic justice, youth empowerment, and cultural pride. His rallies are not political events. They are experiences, young faces, first-time voter, women who see a different kind of political possibility. The energy is real. The question nobody can answer confidently is whether it transferred to the voting booth. Because Tamil Nadu has been here before, Kamala Hassan, one of the Tamil cinema's greatest minds, intellectual, launched his party with enormous fanfare, chose Coimbatore South as his launch pad, and lost convincingly to a relatively unknown. The message from the Tamil voters was delivered without sentiment or an apology. Rajnikant understood this instinctively. He watched the political landscape for years, built anticipation to an unbearable pitch, then stepped back because he grasped something essential. A superstar who loses an election does not remain a superstar. He becomes a cautionary tale in the history. The four who actually crossed from a cultural authority to governing power, Annadurai, Karunanidhi, MGR, Jayalalitha, were each something far more durable than glamorous alone. Annadurai, who was called Anna, was an ideologue. Karunanidhi spent 30 years in the trenches building ward by ward. MGR made a covenant with Tamil Nadu poorest citizens through personal welfare governance. Jayalalitha's authority was forged not in fame but in survival. Humiliated, persecuted, written off repeatedly, and returning each time harder and more formidable. And on the contrary, Vijay not yet demonstrated that capacity. He brings the glamour, he brings the electricity. What he has not shown is the ability to do the grinding, unglamorous work of real political instruction, the prediction to pass. According to the latest figures, he cancels his public rallies. He announces the last moment that he would not be coming. So he's very unpredictable. He's drawing crowd. But his organization is not as well organized as the other two Dravidian parties are. Best case scenario for him, TVK wins 8 to 18 seats, achieves 10 to 14% votes, share and position itself as a decisive spider, shaping who wins Tamil Nadu even without winning it themselves. He may be a kingmaker, the foundation for a serious 231 bid, most likely. That's the procedure. What is the darker case? 4 to 8 seats? vote share too thinly spread to convert into representation, and what followed is devastating, not just political but personally for him. A meaningful electoral defeat does not leave a film star where it found them. The invincibility that underpins superstar cinema, the suspension of disbelief that makes audiences accept a man as cosmically triumphant, is quietly but irreversibly compromised with public electoral rejection. The audience that cheers in a theatre and the voter who judges in the booth are the same person. Once that person has said no in the booth, something changes in the theatre too. It is never spoken about aloud, but it is real and it does not fully reverse. Tamil Nadu can love Vijay on a Friday and choose him on a Tuesday. That is not contrition, that is sophistication, electoral understanding. Now we come to the face, which is the unknown face, the BJP, the outsider that refuses to leave Tamil Nadu. The BJP's Tamil story is one of the most persistent, least successful political projects in modern Indian electoral history. Decade after decade, resources invested, alliances built, election contested, and results that would have caused any other organization to fundamentally reconsider its strategy. Yet it returns after every debacle, every cycle, better funded, more determined, and increasingly willing to deploy instruments of national power to create a pressure that organic politics has consistently denied it. In 2026, the strategy has evolved finally. The BJP is no longer relying on Modi's national appeal alone. Beneath the AIADMK alliance, it is pursuing a quiet polarization playbook, sharpening division around religion, language, and cultural identity. The debates around Hindi imposition, tensions around minority institutions, controversies around religious conversions in Sanskrit district, these are not incidental to the BJP's campaign. They are the campaign conducted below the main political radar, but heard clearly by the community the party is trying to activate or target. What is the prediction? 12 to 20 seats, that is what they feel. The BJP best ever Tamil Nadu assembly performance. Coimbatore remains its most credible stronghold. A statewide vote share touching 12 to 15%. The BJP will present this and break through. And in narrow historical terms, it is. But breaking Dravidian dominance, the explicit personal ambition of the Modi-Shah project remains as distant as ever if that happens. The Dravidian political culture is not merely an electoral preference. It is a civilizational identity built on language, pride centuries old, on social reform movement, on a deep and rational suspicion of northern political hegemony that the BJP's own conduct in office had nothing to diminish. The BJP can win seats in Tamil Nadu. It cannot yet win Tamil Nadu. The difference between those two statements is everything. So what is the geography of the state? That is more important. That plays a very important role. Tamil Nadu is not a monolith. The north, which means Chennai, Kanchipuram, Chengalpattu, is DMK territory but impatient with rising costs and infrastructure delays. The south, which is Madurai, Tuticorin, Tirunelveli, is competitive. Thevar community loyalty to ADMK, coastal communities voting on immediate economic survival. What happens in the west, which is Coimbatore, Tirupur, Erode is the BJP's most credible territory. Industrial gounder dominated, genuinely contested. And the delta, Thanjavur, Nagapattinam, is DMK's agrarian heartland, but vulnerable to farmer distress. Every region has its own arithmetic, its own grammar. No single national narrative captured all of it simultaneously. So let me conclude now, because I have not given the data because that confuses all of you. When the dust settles finally on 29th of April, the most probable scenario which political pundits are saying is likely to be like this. The DMK returns to power, diminishing but not defeated. Stalin continues as chief minister, becoming the first leader in Tamil Nadu's history to break the back-to-back term barrier. but his second term will be defined by constraint, coalition management, and a restless second rung of DMK leadership watching and waiting. Probably, the DMK-BJP alliance consolidates as the principal opposition, recovering credibility from 2021 disaster, but falling short of power, it remains out of power. EPS survives as opposition leader, while the BJP quietly banks its gains and plans for the longer game and the war. Vijay's TVK announces itself as Tamil Nadu emerging third force. Not the earthquake his supporter dreamed of, but enough to make every future political calculation in the state incomplete without Vijay. But beneath all the seat counts and vote share, something more profound is happening. The 50-year binary of DMK versus ADMK, the alternating Dravidian duopoly that has been Tamil politics organizing principles since 1967, is visibly cracking. A three-corner contest with a national party pushing from outside is a fundamentally different political universe from anything this state has previously navigated. The Dravidian model will survive 2026. Whether it survives the next election intact is the question that will define Tamil politics for the generation to come. Tamil Nadu has never been conquered from outside. Every transformation it has undergone has come from within, from its own people, in their own language, on their own terms. The lights of Kollywood are different, but the light Tamil Nadu switches on inside the voting booth is a different kind entirely. It is the light of judgment. And it has never been blinded by glamour. That's all for today in the bottom line. We'll talk about next political event in the next episode of Bottom Line. Till then, goodbye. Thank you very much. But before I go, I request you to watch my channel, subscribe, share, write comments, good or bad, ugly. I will read them, but will never mind. Jai Hind.